Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Anthony, and we're here to review Legends with Tom
Yes.
Hardy.
All right. So first off, what did you think of the film?
I liked it.
As we've,
I think it could have been better
yeah,
in
we've,
some aspects. What about you?
yeah, also agreed. I saw so many, 5-star reviews. It's amazing, and I went into it going, "Oh, this is going to be great." And then I got to the end of it and went, "Oh, okay, it's okay," but I didn't
Yeah,
love it.
you know what? I hadn't heard about the movie before you mentioned it. And it was Tom Hardy in there, so I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm sold. I want to see it, but I steered away from the reviews because I also like to be surprised when I watch a movie. So I didn't really know what to expect, like something that was grand or something that was just meh. But it was more on the meh side for me on this one.
yeah. I think he did a good job. Obviously the two characters were so different from each other. Reggie was obviously the more level-headed one, and then Ron was a bit more, I would hate to say it, a bit too cartoonish, in my opinion. Whether
Okay.
that's the was that the actual what Ronnie was like, it felt too much at times.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah. So what's your opinion of Tom Hardy's performance in this?
I think he did a good job, and especially the fact that there's a couple of scenes where it's Ron, Reggie, and they're interacting with one another. Just for the logistics of that, I think that was well done. There's obviously, as we mentioned in a previous chat, where the fight scene, we found that, it was almost comedic at times
It
where,
was hilarious. Yeah.
yeah. So, and just the logistics of putting that together must have been so difficult.
Hmm. I was I didn't know what to make out of his performance, and I still don't know. Maybe I would need a rewatch just for that. But I thought it was coming from brilliant at time to, yeah, as we were saying, a bit cartoonish, a bit caricature. I think it's because he's playing two different characters. You really want them to feel like different people, and I think this is where he leaned into. I don't know if it's him or if it's the direction or if it's the
Yeah.
writing, but that's where it somewhere it like took me off it when it was leaning a bit too much into being caricatures. But let's say at 60 to 70% of the time, I would say I thought it was a great performance from him.
So obviously he was the leading character. There's obviously supporting characters. What did you feel Emily Browning brought to the table? Were you
I
we've mentioned this in other chats where what
Yeah,
was
it was the weak point of the
yeah,
movie, not her herself. I think you can talk a bit more about her performance because I think you have
yeah,
some things to say in there. But I thought as an actress, she did a good job. I think she's Aussie. I think she played English like, pretty well. I couldn't tell she was Aussie. Then I'm not like, it's not my
yeah,
first language, but most of the time I can tell when somebody is putting on like, an unnatural accent. I think
yeah.
she did a pretty good job. I thought she was good in it. It was more the character, the way it's written, which was disappointing to me. It was really the weak point of the movie. In, for example, she's the narrator. So because she's telling the story, I thought that she would have this big role into bringing down, like the cartel or what you want to call it. That she would go to the cops or she would just blow it up from the inside. But then there is this fake out where she kills herself and she's saying, "Oh, just because I'm telling the story, you thought I was still alive." And I was like, that's not good writing or it's not a good twist. It's contrived at best. Yeah, she was not there. I was expecting this character to be much more and much more interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I like the romance that she had going on, especially at the beginning with Reggie. But yeah, what about you? What did you think of her
Yeah,
performance and her character?
I did think she was the weakest part of the performance. I just I haven't seen her in too much, so I can't really say much of her past performances. I just felt that the role felt it was a little bit needed more of a dramatic actress for it, and she just didn't hold that dramatic ab aspect to it as much as I would have liked.
Yeah,
Again, I wasn't a big fan of the constant narration throughout it, and then obviously when her character dies, spoiler, and she's still narrating, it was like, okay, this is a bit random. That's I didn't know how to take it after that.
yeah. No, yeah, go.
One thing I really liked was the direction. There was obviously, and going back on what you said a second ago about the relationship between Reg and what's her name again? Francis.
Princess. Yeah,
The first date scene like was from the moment they got. It's like a 7 minute one long continuous take, and I love those kind of takes where it's like one continuous tracking shot, and it's just so much happened in that 7 minutes, and it's just I I I actually had to go back and watch it about two or three times because like oh, that was one shot. That's really well done.
yeah. Their love story, I thought, was very, very well set up. I mean, I buy it. I buy those two.
Yep.
I buy that they can be together. I remember, like, the kind of disgusting thing that they are doing with like exchanging, like, the sherbet lemon, like, lolly. Um, and I remember this first date. So I thought they were like the love story is very well set up, but eventually when they get married and things are going downhill, I get it to a point. There is a turning point in Reggie's character where he's like drunk and then they imply that there is a rape against
Yep.
her. It felt so
It was out of
unnatural
and it was
that,
out of character as well. I almost thought it was going to be a fake out. It was going to be no, that's Ron doing that, not Reggie, and that
yeah, exactly.
because
That
it
would have
was
added
almost
to the
it was
twist.
almost like that's not Reggie, that's Ron. And the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, that's Ron.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Reggie. Oh, and he's done that. Oh, that was very. I didn't like that part of the movie at all.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It felt just put in there to up the drama,
Correct. Yeah.
and it didn't really bring anything much. And it's very hard to root for Reggie after that because
Yep.
throughout the movie, for me, it was he's torn. He's torn between his brother, who is a bit crazy and wants to be a gangster, and he's really messing everything up, and he's paranoid, and he's got like everything going on, but he's still his brother, and he's covering up for him, and he's he loves him, but he's got this woman in his life as well that she wants him to be out of a life of crime, and he's got this sort of like fighting two people from like his family, and who is he gonna be with in the end, who he's gonna side with. And I really like this conflict, but when he does that to her, it also like said, hey, I don't care about you anymore, like it's no.
Yeah. So another thing I quite liked was it almost did actually feel like we were looking at 1960s London as well. I thought most it was almost the set designs, costumes, makeup. It
Yeah,
was almost flawless to me.
yeah, that was like one, I think, my favorite part, like
Yep.
from beginning to end, the sets, you can tell that a lot of the budget and a lot of talent went into designing those sets, that yeah, you really buy it that this is London in the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
You really like that. There was a point in the plot as well that this entire thing with the American guy,
Yep.
what did you think of that?
Bit redundant. It didn't really need to be in there. It felt it was just put in there to add to the runtime.
Exactly. It's like you cut it out. You are not missing anything. It feels really bolted on for
Yep.
no really reason that yeah, maybe pad the runtime. It's already a long movie. It's like it's over 2 hours long. So there was
Yeah.
absolutely not needed in there. Um, yeah,
We both like the score. I think you mentioned last time that it was very tender during those moments between Reg and Francis, especially they were dating. That was quite nice. I
Yeah.
almost felt that at the very, very beginning, like when the movies first started, it almost had a bit of an Irish feel to it. I
Mm.
just I don't know if you've seen Boondock Saints, but it almost had a bit of just that Irish little jig to it. So I was like, oh, it's going to be a bit of an but no, it's not. It's very English based, and
Very, very. Um, what score would you give it?
I would give it a three. I don't think I really toyed up on it's a three. No, I think it's a three for me.
Mm. Yeah, it's a three, clear cut three for me. It's good. Happy I see it. I saw it. Will I see it again? Not sure.
Yeah, yeah. If you, I would probably recommend if you're a Tom Hardy fan, give it a shot. But it's is is it amazing? No,
No, it's not,
it's good.
and
It's good.
it's good. And I agree. If you're a Tom Hardy fan, go for it. You will enjoy it. It's worth seeing him in that performance. If you like gangster movies, I think you will find it sort of so. It is
Yeah,
missing this grand element to it.
yeah. All
Cool.
right, I think that wraps it up for this episode.
Nice. Thank you. Like,
Yeah,
subscribe, comment.
yep, and help us get to, let's say, 25 subscribers.
Yes. And see you next time.
Will do. Take care.